Hey everybody, Rockin Robbie here. It's time for me to tell you to come on down to the Huntsville Comic and Pop Culture Expo. That's right, April 18th and 19th in Huntsville, Alabama. That's right, in northern Alabama. Come and see the Huntsville Comic and Pop Culture Expo. PCP will be there. We will, of course, have a panel there. Always a good grand old time. At the Huntsville Comic and Pop Culture Expo, it's a great time. Lots of exciting guests. Chris Claremont, Jason David Frank, a whole lot of slew of talent. Anyway, check it out at HSV Expo. Really cool stuff. And yes, Brooks will be there, but not quite with that hair. Anyway, we'll be starting the stream here in just a second, y'all. Stay tuned. Hey everybody, welcome here to Pop Culture Philosophers, and it's time for Rockin Robbie Live. And that's right, I am Rockin Robbie Billups here, and tonight we're going to be chatting about a whole bunch of really cool stuff. Comic books, movies, pop culture, and a whole lot more. And yes, it is a Teen Dog Shades kind of night. Y'all know what that means. We'll be taking a look at what's coming up in comic shops this week. We'll be taking a look at last week's very tiny stack of comic books and all that jazz. Once you get into the chat room, let me know that you're here. And we will start chatting, we'll start talking, we'll start doing all that jazz. Your conversations drive the show. Your questions, all that stuff, right? So, if I just go by my rundown, this show's over in 15 minutes. So, what's up, everybody? Oh, we got Mike Matthews in the building. What's up, Sharp Seller? What's up, S Squared? Brett, how are you doing? Thank you, you're far too kind. And what's up, Jesse? How are you doing? We're going to have a good old fun time tonight. Once you're in the stream, also hit the thumbs up button. And before we really get into it, go ahead and start throwing in those questions. I want to say thanks to all of our patrons out there. David, Alex, Adem, Nelson, Brian, Dean, Jason, Brian, Reggie, Robert, Have, Peter, Dunlaney, and TJ. Really do appreciate it. What's up, Huff House Art? I hope everybody's having a good time. I hope your NFL team has made it into the playoffs. Not all of us are so lucky. Dylan, you son of a bitch. Welcome. Doing great. Aside from, the Cowboys blew it last week. The Cowboys blew it all season long, to be honest with you, except for those first 3 games. Those are pretty nice. But, I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan, and now that that's over, that means, now that it's over, it means it's time to look forward to baseball. At least the Lakers are doing pretty decent, right? Any hockey fans? Anyway, if you're a football team and your team made it into the postseason, I know there's still some things that are going to shake out as far as who plays who, judging by tonight's 49ers game, right? So, like, for instance, Lance Allen, I don't know if he's watching right now. Maybe he'll watch on the replay, but I definitely got to say congratulations to his 49ers because that came out of nowhere this year, right? But, Mike, does it really matter that the Patriots lost to the Dolphins? What's up, Eddie? How are you doing? What's up, Christina? Yeah, the future is bright, and we're wearing the shades. That also means I'm open up to a lot of crazy cool questions. I've been knee-deep in Graham Hancock, Randall Carlson, and what's his name? John Anthony West, I think. I'm knee-deep in that stuff lately. So maybe we can get into that in the second half of the show. Anyway, you can follow me personally on Twitter at @TheRockinRobbie. You can join the PCP Army. It's the official Pop Culture Philosophers Facebook group. And, of course, we're on Patreon, patreon.com/PCP. And just on regular Facebook, Instagram, all that stuff, too. In 2020, I plan on making... Sorry, I saw Mike's comment. He said that the Patriots lost to the Dolphins today because of Jelani. Jelani has been a Cowboys fan for as long as I've known him, and this year he had enough of the Cowboys, and so he has moved on in his bandwagon. He's become a Patriots fan, Jelani has, and they've lost 2 games, I think, since that happened a few weeks ago, including today's game against the Dolphins. So, Yeah, y'all can have Jelani as a fan. I got to deal with him as a fellow Auburn fan. Y'all can have him. Us Cowboys, we ain't going to miss him. We ain't missing anybody right now. They're missing us. Damn it, I'm so pissed off about the NFL season this year. Oh, man, you just got to be happy about it, right? You just got to be positive. I just hope both teams have fun. That's why I wear that shirt, by the way, because it's just a obnoxious thing that people say when your team loses. Especially when you're a kid, they always say that. Well, I just hope both teams had fun. Screw you, I wanted to win. Isn't that what it's about? Yeah, Ohio State lost last night. Oh, Dylan, are you in Ohio? My grandmother and her side of the family is from Ohio, Akron, Ohio. Well, Brett, that's a great question, but don't jump onto my own. That's supposed to be later. That's the question of the week. No, but I have already answered some of this. As far as what I'm looking forward to in 2020, we talked about it a little bit on the Festivus stream. But I'm looking forward to Umbrella Academy Season 2. I'm looking forward to The Three Jokers, because I'm pretty sure that's going to start coming out at some point. I'm looking forward to the Null event, and I'm looking forward to Tenet, the new Christopher Nolan movie. Looks great. Yeah, I saw something, though. I think I shared it on my Facebook page about how, God, what's the dude's name? Burrows or whatever from LSU, like threw more touchdowns at Mercedes-Benz Stadium than Matt Ryan did this year. That may have changed after today's game. I don't know. I don't know where they played, but hey, what's up, Comics with Bueller? Everybody, Bueller's in the house. That's a legend. That's a YouTube legend, y'all. Bueller, that was a great live stream. You and Bob and Sam and Sleepy Reader did. I wasn't super familiar with Sleepy Reader's content, but he seems like he has some really good taste, so I definitely wanted... I subbed up and definitely going to be checking out some stuff. What's up, Samuel? How are you doing? But no, Bueller, that was a great live stream. If nobody's checked it out, Bueller and 3 of his other Portland comic book YouTubers got together and did a live stream on Friday, and it was fantastic. Great stuff. They covered all the trends and the hot books of the year and all that stuff, their favorites, whatnot. It was a great show. Really fun. Went for 3 hours. 3 hours. Hey, what's up, Reggie? How are you doing? Well, I appreciate the sympathy about the Cowboys. Bears didn't make it either. That's right. Steelers didn't make it either, man. Who am I supposed to pull for? I don't care. I guess everybody around here is pulling for the Titans, the Tennessee Titans. I'm like, screw that. I don't care about the Titans. The Cowboys are bust. Oh, man. Oh, definitely waiting for baseball, though. Baseball's going to be great. White Sox. You think the White Sox are going to have a good season? I think the Yankees are going to have a damn good season. I'll tell you that. Well, Dylan, I hope that you like Predator, or at least I hope that you get the reference. You just don't think I'm calling you a son of a bitch every time you pop up into a stream or I see you online or something. Yeah. Have you ever seen like someone did like some kind of weird extended cut of that thing? It's on YouTube. It's when Carl Weathers and Arnold, meet up. He's like, Dylan, you son of a bitch, and they embrace, and it's like, never, I don't think ever, have there been 2 huger arms in an embrace like that, right? Anyway, really fun stuff. But there's like somebody did a cut of it, and it just keeps like cutting it over and over. It's really funny. You can find it by just typing in getting a stew on or something like that, which is how I found it, oddly enough. A different Carl Weathers joke. But yeah. Look at that, Bueller. Everybody's giving you support and talking about how awesome that show was. He says it was a great time. It seems like it was a great time. I had a good time. I really, really did. Ugh. All right. Well, I got a guy at work. His name is Dylan, too, and I do it to Dylan all the time, too, at work. It's just one of those things. If I meet someone named Dylan, I'm going to call him you son of a bitch. What's up, Adam? How you doing? Hambone. You talking about Tomlin? Hambone. That's funny stuff. And we're going to be taking a look at this upcoming week's new comic books. We'll be asking the question of the week. We'll do a little bit of show and tell. I got a pop to open up, and I got a Power Ranger toy to open up. I've been backlogging the show and tell, so I can delay my pleasure of opening it, make it more of an event. So I'm actually opening up a Power Ranger toy I bought a few weeks ago. Anyway, what's up, Robbie Bateman? I want to give a big shout out to Robbie Bateman, first of all, for being just super cool cat, probably one of my favorite cats ever. I love Robbie Bateman so much. On Christmas, he comes into the comic shop and he brings us this giant ass platter of cookies, and people give us sweets and stuff, and it's really cool. But this was the best damn and hugest platter of cookies I'd ever have given to me working retail by a customer. And Robbie is just the man. Plus, his name is Robbie. Plus, Robbie is the reason why I got to go to Heroes Con this year. And I'm incredibly grateful and appreciate everything that you do to support PCP and the PCP Army. You are a true soldier and even a general in that army, sir. Thank you so much. But yeah, go. Robbie, I'll pull for the Bills for you. How about that? But screw the Titans. I don't care about the Titans. I've never cared about the Titans. I'm supposed to. I don't care. I mean, who says you got to like the team that's near you? You know what I'm saying? I mean, as far as that goes, I do like the Braves. And I've been thinking about I should be a Predators fan, but I still haven't. Like, I thought about it twice this year where I was like, oh, man, I forgot I was going to watch more hockey this season. And then I realized, and then I'm like, oh, man, there's a lot of hockey games on. But I haven't been able to catch a Predators game on air yet. But I'm not paying too much attention. I've barely watched any NBA this year. Oh, yeah, is it a ham bone? Or is it a chicken bone? Something like, don't throw that bone away. There's plenty of meat left on that bone. When I think of ham bone, I think of the bad lip reading of the NFL they did a few years ago, and like Tomlin at one point just goes ham bone. It's really fun. It's it's ridiculously funny. But yeah, Bateman, go Bills, because that means in order for the Bills to make it, the Patriots have to lose at some point. So hell yeah, let's do it. Right? Yes. Dylan says, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up button to support the homie, man. Robbie, man, I'm skipping words. Robbie, the man, does this every week, and it's not a live stream you want to miss, guys. Thank you very much, Dylan. You're telling that to people that are already here, though. But no, absolutely. Thank you so much, Dylan. I appreciate that. And yes, hit that thumbs up button. So first thing we're going to get to, we always get to this at the start of after all the bullshit. First of all, I'll point out, behind me, I've said I was going to start showing off more of the cool comic book collection and recent pickups and stuff like that. So I've got a Daredevil number 38. It's a crossover with Fantastic Four from back in the day. That comic book is written by Stan Lee and it's illustrated by the illustrious Gene Colan, who I love. I love Gene Colan's work so much. Co-creator of Blade. Big run on Daredevil. Great stuff. And I just love a really good ham boning. Yeah, absolutely. And I really do love a Doctor Doom cover. And I'm like Bob, who does the Coffee and Comic Show with Bueller. He's a big Daredevil guy, and he's a big Doom guy. So I'm sure that's one that Bob has in his collection. So y'all's show is gonna be tomorrow, and that's my first 5. I just got one of those right there. But then I got 4 toys there too. So that's my first 5, Bueller, if you're still here or watching on the replay. The pleasure was both of us Robbies got to stick together, homie. What's up, Atari 3375? How are you doing? Anybody aside from Robbie and Mike have a team in the playoffs this year? All right, and now that all the bullshit's done, what was your favorite comic book of last week? Slim pickings. Slim ass pickings. There was like no DC books, there was a handful of Marvel books, and like hardly anything from anything else. There was like a couple of Image, IDW, Killlock. I see a lot of people picking up Killlock. So what was your favorite comic book of last week? Me, it was East to West 45, and I had the opportunity and the luxury of being able to read the small amount of books earlier. So Bueller's here. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, I was able to get caught up on East to West real quick because I was probably about like 10 or 12 issues behind. So I read them all up, and it was the pick of the week. It was just an absolutely astounding ending to such a great comic book. I think East to West is one of the best books of the decade. What do I think of Daniel Radcliffe, of maybe him being Moon Knight? It's okay. I could dig it, I guess. I'm a Harry Potter guy. Nothing Radcliffe does in Harry Potter leads you to believe that he could do a Moon Knight. But, I don't try to judge actors before they're able to do their thing because, everybody nowadays talks about how Michael Keaton's like one of their favorite Batman. And, when he first got announced, everybody hated it. It was like, why is this comedic actor going to play Batman? So, I'm not gonna. If he winds up, being Moon Knight, I wouldn't be upset with that. My personal pick is Timothy Olyphant, and that's been my pick for a while. I just really want to see him in a gritty, hard. I love him in Deadwood, and I love him in Justified, and I pretty much just love him in anything he's in. But in those roles, he's got this an intensity, like this burning, smoldering intensity that he can convey with very little. Emoting almost in a way. He's doing a lot, right? But anyway, fantastic stuff. I never have a team in the playoffs because the Browns haven't made it since I was sperm in my dad's. And yeah, okay, there you go. That's funny. Hey, what's up, Ronald? Thank you so much. Haven't picked up last week's huge 3 comic book haul. Dylan, my personal favorite cinematic Batman is Christian Bale. Handedly. Everybody hit that thumbs up button. Let's try to get as many thumbs up tonight as we have people in the room, which would be really cool, especially for the last Robbie Rants Live of the year. Wouldn't that be cool? Yeah, I'm excited for Pattinson to check it out. It is. I get people's negative reaction towards how many villains have been cast for this movie. I definitely think that they need to limit, but I bet the focus of this is not going to be on all of those villains. I think, to be honest with you, I think the Christopher Nolan Batman films are the only ones that actually focused more on Bruce than the villains. I think that especially all the Burton ones and the ones, the Schumacher ones, they were more about the villains, at least to me. So I'm excited to see this, but I do think there's a lot of villains in it, but I think that they're going to be kind of background. I think they're going to be able to be most people know who these people are, so we're just going to kind of allude to them. But the problem is, what if the movie's not good? Now you got all these people under contract, and it's kind of it's kind of what DC's already gone through with their whole, Justice League debacle and Jared Leto's Joker and all that kind of stuff. And now they're in a weird space, in a weird way. And we're going to have 3 new Jokers within just a few years. Think about that. Because they may not put the Joker in this one because they haven't cast the Joker yet. But the idea is that this, the idea is that this is somehow possibly based on the Long Halloween or something like that, right? And I think that could work as a film, especially because they're planning a trilogy, maybe kind of based on the Long Halloween. And if they did it, there's a perfect trilogy right there of Year One, Long Halloween, and Dark Victory. To be honest with you, that's, to me, if anybody wants to start reading comics, Batman's a good entry, and those are the 3 that I always tell them. Read Year One, read Long Halloween, and then read Dark Victory. It's a perfect Batman trilogy. It's a Batman Begins. It's a trilogy of movies. You could do that. I don't think they're going to do a Year One thing because that's too much kind of like Batman Begins. And I think they want to kind of have Batman. It's not going to be another origin story or nothing like that. So I think Long Halloween's a good way to approach it. So I think the idea is that they're going to kind of take Long Halloween and Hush and kind of fuse them together and have various small appearances by villains. So you get great actors playing these really iconic villains, and if you just give them a little bit of screen time, it can work as long as the thread of the story is Bruce's story. And that's what Long Halloween is, and that's why I think that's a good way to utilize a lot of villains, a lot of talent, but still make a very solid introductory Batman movie. Dylan says Christian Bale's his favorite too. I love it too. Many people like Keaton. I think that Val Kilmer is an underappreciated Batman, to be honest with you. And George Clooney just didn't have much to work with. And I like Ben Affleck. I think Ben Affleck was fine. But Christian Bale's my favorite because I really feel like Christian Bale, out of all of them, Christian Bale was Batman before he even put on that mask. Like when you watch Batman Begins, he's already Batman before he even puts on the mask and costume for the first time. So there you go. Brett says Jokers are the new zombies. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. I think the next horror wave is going to be werewolves. It's time for a werewolf revival in it. You're already seeing it in comic book world. Jughead the Hunger. Was it Lucy Claire Redemption? There's a couple others that came out recently. Missed that Batman 80th giant issue for $40 just before word got out. Live and learn. What giant 80th issue are we talking about? Which one are we talking about? I have no idea. I'm lost. It's a Teen Dog Shades night. I'll get a little lost tonight. I really, really hope it's good, dude. Batman has the best villains. They could use villains we never have seen on big screen, but they keep going back to the same villains. Well, they keep going back to the same villains because those are the most popular ones. The most popular ones. It's nice to say that everybody knows the majority of Batman villains, and it's true, but the average person, I don't think, really knows too much about things like the ventriloquist, you know? So I think that's why most people, they want to go back. We want to see the Joker. We want to see Penguin. We want to see Catwoman. We want to see Riddler, Two-Face. Those are those are the most, and it all comes from, I think, the Adam West TV series, the 80th one. So they did an 80th Batman anniversary giant issue for Walmart, and okay. And has it gone up or something like that? I tried to start buying those Walmart giants at first, and I got like 4 or 5 issues into each of them, and that was just falling behind. I was like, this is too much work to like try to hunt these down to have a complete collection. But I have been picking up the ones released at comic shops, and they've been pretty fun. But I think that I really do think that the Adam West Batman show kind of cemented what the most popular villains were. But I think there's plenty of room to work with. I think Batman's got great villains. But I'm not against them going back to some villains. But don't just keep doing Joker. And there's nothing saying that they're doing Joker in the new Batman movie. In fact, they're probably going to stay away from it because of the Joaquin Phoenix thing. But I'm telling you, if they're doing Long Halloween, if they're planning for 3 movies, Joker's a part of that plan. I guarantee it. I mean, why wouldn't he be? Huff House Art likes Michael Keaton. What's up, Cure? How are you doing? I grew up with Keaton. I love him. I like Val Kilmer better than Clooney. He was the worst Batman, but Bale just absolutely amazing. I mean, those movies were just nothing we've never seen in a Batman movie. I think the Nolan Batman movies are more like Batman. They're more about Batman, and they're more I would say they're more like the comic book. More like the comic book that I grew up with, I would say. Because I would also say that the Burton and the Schumacher films are better viewed by people from people that have been reading comic books, as long as I have. And there are people that remember Batman from the 60s, right? And that's different. But from the 70s on, Batman got a little bit more grounded, a little bit more serious, right? And I think that the Burton and Schumacher films are a little bit more like their adaptations of that Adam West series. I really think that Adam West Batman show is probably like a very anchoring point for Batman's place in our consciousness collectively. King Tut. I love me some Tut. I remember being a kid and watching reruns of the Adam West Batman show and loving it, right? Loving it. Still love that show. It's so crazy. It's fun. It's theater of the absurd. You know what I'm saying? So it's really fun stuff. But like I remember getting to episodes with like False Face and King Tut and Egghead and being like, oh, man, because I just wanted Joker, Penguin, Catwoman, Riddler. We never got Two-Face though. We got him later on though, right? Animated. Mike Matthew throwing it out. Kevin Conroy's the best Batman. He definitely, that's the voice I hear in my head pretty much. But Mike, who's your favorite live action Batman? Kevin Conroy's actually, I think, an easy answer. I think it's kind of a cop-out. What's up, Bash? How are you doing? I'm fairly new to the comic book community, and I'm having a blast since maybe a year ago I started buying comics. Heck yeah, Cure. Comics are the best. Comics are the best. Yeah, Kevin Conroy is amazing, though. Batman the Animated Series to me is the purest, most distilled, and perfect form of the Batman mythos, to me. Yeah, right, Brett. But now I go back and I watch the Egghead episodes and I get really excited because I'm like, oh man, Vincent Price. And remember the Mr. Freeze episodes? There are 3 different Mr. Freezes, aren't there? There's like a different actor playing Mr. Freeze every single episode. I just very vividly remember watching an episode when I was a kid, and Robin and Batman are in this thing, and there's like this like laser, like red laser coming at them, and they're like, or maybe it's like, I don't remember. I remember something like that. Fun stuff. What's up, Marquis Roberts? Adam West Batman had a contingency pill for every problem in his utility belt. Yeah, let's just be straight up about it. The most accurate comic book to screen Batman is probably that one, the Adam West Batman show, and the movie. And I love the movie with the UN and all that stuff. Is pretty much exactly like the ridiculous ass comic book that came out at the same time. I think the animated series from the 90s is the most pure, distilled form of Batman. You know, Clock King got badass in that animated series, though, Mike, didn't he? Mike says that his favorite live action is Bale. Mine as well. All right, what's your favorite? Okay, so we're talking about this right now. Who's your favorite live action Batman? We can all agree that we love Kevin Conroy, right? Who's your favorite live action Batman? I want to see him. Is it West? Is that dude from the 30s or 40s? The dude from the 40s? I don't remember his name. West, Keaton, Bale, Kilmer, Clooney? No one's going to say Clooney. No one's going to say Clooney or Kilmer. It's uncool to say that. Affleck. The Bat Shark Repellent, some of the best stuff out there. Yeah, Mask of the Phantasm is probably the best Batman film ever done. Oh, that opening music too, where it's the Danny Elfman theme, but it's like done like by a chorus, right? So it's like by a choir or something. It's like, anyway, and the animated series really does a great job with Clock King, man. That's some really cool stuff. See, with the animated series, unlike watching the Adam West one when I was a kid, and I would get to an episode that didn't have the Joker. Now, every time I would watch the animated series and the Joker would show up, I get really excited. I wanted to see Joker, I wanted to see Two-Face, and I wanted to see Penguin. And I still think, and I just rewatched it last week for the holidays, and what's up, MN? I had a great holiday because on Christmas Eve, I watched Batman Returns, and Batman Returns is a Christmas movie, obviously, and it's the best Penguin we have ever and probably will ever have. Like, I'm not always the best. I'm not always a big fan of, film and television dictating basically what happens in the comic books. But why can't we not get a Danny DeVito Penguin? Like, that's the Penguin I want. That Penguin is scary. He's creepy. Oh, my God. Gotham had a good Penguin, too, but I didn't watch all of Gotham. Kevin Conroy from Crisis. That's ridiculous. Come on. Definitely Bell if we look at the films, but based purely off of looks, Affleck hit a home run. When I think Clooney, all I can think of is those bat nipples. You know, Val Kilmer was the first with bat nipples. Don't forget that. Oh my God, I'm jealous. I actually got to find me a copy to own for my collection. I lost my VHS tape of what, Batman and Robin? Comics at their best always bring peace and happiness. And it brings us a little bit of knowledge about ourselves. It can. Is it too early to get my 5-year-old son into the 66 Batman show? That's up to you. That's up to you. I can't make that decision. Most people would say it's innocent. Took my son to his first comic expo and he really cleaned up. Found a gold mine of indies in the dollar bin. Heck yeah, hero time. For a 5-year-old, Jay, I would go more with like some of the younger aged aimed animated stuff, like Batman Brave and the Bold. Really fun stuff. I like that. So does anybody want to throw in on their favorite comic book from last week? I know there was a small amount. What's up, Daniel? Thank you so much. Just because you're late doesn't mean you have to throw some money into the pot, but we always do appreciate it. Thank you very much, helping us end the year strong. Daniel always throwing down. Thank you so much, buddy. I couldn't agree more. If people in the world were like the amazing people in the community, the world would be a better place. I truly believe that. Comics saved my life. Hell of a testimonial. Oh, Mask of the Phantasm. Oh, man. You can, if you get the DC streaming app, it's on there. It's on Blu-ray now. It's a fantastic movie. It's one of the best. What's up, Shane? What's your favorite Black Label stuff so far? I'm loving the Joker stuff. My favorite right now is Joker, Killer Smile. 2 issues in, I'm loving it. It's Lemire, it's Sorrentino. I'm absolutely going to love it. It's fantastic. Really cool stuff. I did like the first issue of The Question. I loved the first issue of Wonder Woman Dead Earth. Thought that was amazing. What else? I really like Batman Last Night on Earth. I think Batman Last Night on Earth was probably the best Snyder Capullo Batman story, in my opinion, but it took the whole run to set that up, right? So I really like that one. But yeah, Joker Killer Smile is my favorite by far. I think that one's amazing. I think the Dollhouse family's been really good too. Brett says, did everyone hate Incoming? Funny thing about Incoming is I got a quote pulled from me from the weekly comic book review for Marvel's YouTube. They did like a critic's reaction video where they just showed like some images of Marvel stuff or whatever, and they had, just snippets and quotes from like, the comic book journalist world, right? And they pulled a quote from me, which was great. I thought it was cool. And it's really funny because y'all know I didn't give Incoming a good review. The quote they pulled was, I said, if you're into the Kree Skrull stuff, I would encourage you to pick this up because it really does move that story forward. Like they're setting some Kree Skrull stuff up. That's the most important universe line-wide stuff that happens. Otherwise, the book is just really setting up a bunch of stories for 2020, and it's neat. But it's a teaser, right? That's what it is. But I encourage everybody else just to pick up like a trade or something instead of spending $10 on that. But Marvel still pulled a quote from me, and I thought that was awesome. That means people out there in Marvel, they're watching the videos, they're checking it out. You guys are a big part of that, building this community up, letting our voices be heard. So that's super, super cool. But if they're going to be pulling quotes from me and making it seem like I'm telling people to buy Incoming when I didn't necessarily give it a good review, they need to start sending me some advanced copies of things. And not just on the retail level. I want that Jim Mint status. So if anybody saw that video and somehow they saw that there was a quote from Pop Culture Philosophers and they came here, I do want to know, I feel like I was misrepresented by Marvel. No, not really. If you're a big fan of that stuff, I would definitely check it out. S Square says Killer Smile is amazing. S Squared says stop buying single issues from Marvel. Buy more independents. If you're going to buy more indie, I think if you're buying, singles, indies can definitely benefit more from single sales than something like Marvel can. All right. Batch says, I liked Venom. Excited to see part 2 of Venom Island. I liked Venom as well. I think that Donny Cates is doing a great job following up Absolute Carnage, keeping us interested, throwing back to old school stuff, redefining it, doing some neat stuff. And I love to see him work with Mark Bagley. I think it's fantastic. MN says, last week's Venom was solid, as well as Doctor Strange. Pretty good. Robbie Bateman, talking about Batman, says, Bale for me. On a different note, Mark Hamill has the best Joker voice to me. Yeah, absolutely. Fantastic. Fantastic Joker voice. In my head, when I read the Joker, depending on kind of like where the Joker's at, I actually will use a different voice in my head from different actors who have portrayed Joker, from Mark Hamill to Cesar Romero to Jack Nicholson to Heath Ledger. Because one of my favorite things about the Joker is he's never the same. He's never the same character. He never has the same motivation. He never has the same outfit. I like the idea. Grant Morrison really came up with this idea that Joker has like a type of super personality. And maybe that's something that Jeff Johns is going to over-explain or unexplain in 3 Jokers, but it's I'm very interested to see what's going to happen there. But yeah, Mark Hamill, Kevin Conroy, amazing. You cannot stop it. But now I ask a different question. Who is your favorite live-action Joker? Mine is Heath Ledger. Heath Ledger's Joker to me, Agent of Chaos, more in line with. They all represent a facet of the comic book Joker. To me, Heath Ledger kind of encapsulates more of it all the way around. I love Ledger's Joker. Dylan said, Venom 21, absolutely can't wait for issue 22. It's my lucky number. And Kate said it's his craziest issue he's ever wrote. And Thor 1 week. Yeah, Thor's this week. Thor is Wednesday. I have read Thor number 1 already, and it's fantastic. And all I can really say is that it gets a little cosmic. But it's really cool. It's going to have some people talking. Inman says he's ready for a new writer on Doctor Strange. You may get one by the time the new movie comes out. What's up, S Squared? Yeah, Killer Smile, yeah. Actually canceled DC Universe to get Disney Plus. I think that's a wise decision. However, DC Universe does have some excellent comic book content on there, which I think is really cool and worth it. My favorite Black Label is Curse of the White Knight. It's a fantastic one. Basket Full of Heads is great. Curse of the White Knight. Wonder Woman Dead Earth. Killer Smile. Glad to see Danny on another title. Yeah, I want to see more Danny work on Coffin Bound, though. I'm excited for Coffin Bound to return. Robbie says Curse of the White Knight is his favorite Black Label book. Dylan, I guess you keep cursing in your stuff. I have to keep approving it. Was I a fan of the Killock book? No, I didn't really like the Killock book that much. I thought it was okay. I thought it had really good artwork. What do you think of the guy highlighted now on the rooftop on the cover of Daredevil 15? I don't even know what we're talking about. I heard rumors it's the Eternity Mask dude. That would make sense. Oh, maybe they'll start putting him on covers subtly and we can all take a look at it. Thank you. When Liana introduced me to Vita Ayala this year, Liana introduced me to them as, oh, this is Robbie. He's like a Vault Comics influencer. Oh, thank you, Dylan. We're getting there. Jim's a whole other level, though. He does so much different. He's able to appeal to a big, wide range of people because of all the different content he does. Statues, omnibuses, new comic books, all that kind of stuff. Jim Man is he's got a Jimpire. He's a kingpin. We're building our stuff up though. We got the PCP army. Multiple personalities. Not so much multiple personalities, but it's a super personality. The idea is that the Joker sheds a personality like a snake would shed a skin. It's like molting. It's a way of adapting. It's a way of evolving. It's a way of learning from mistakes and moving forward or evolving. It's a weird, crazy thing. So it's not quite multiple personalities, the super personality idea, but it's close for sure. Mike says Ledger hand down. Talking about best screen Jokers, on-screen live-action Jokers. We got Mike says Ledger. Robbie says Heath Ledger. Yeah. Ledger from Cure. Cesar Romero from Roger. Heck yeah, going old school. It's a great joke. It's a great performance. It really is. Roger says Jack Nicholson. Other Roger. Sam Fett says, I love them all, but Ledger's the best. Okay, Jared Leto's Oscar-worthy portrayal in Suicide Squad. I still haven't seen Suicide Squad, actually. I've avoided that one this entire time. So I've actually never seen his portrayal. Oh, you're totally allowed to curse. They just flag certain words, I guess, because, sometimes people have not nice things to say, and I don't want to have to keep, diverting my attention. No, you feel free to curse. I don't care. Yeah. The DC app is worth it for the comic books. There's a lot of comic book content on there for $5.99 a month. It's as good, if not a better deal than Marvel's Unlimited app. If you want to read some old school stuff, that's how you do it, cheaply. Brian hasn't read much of the DC Black Label stuff. I'd highly recommend Joker Killer Smile. That was a really good one. Hero Time says the Harley DC show is pretty funny. I haven't checked it out, but I've heard some interesting things about it. I've heard mixed reactions from people. Daniel finally read Batman White Knight. Holy guacamole, that's a top 5 Batman story. It's a really good one. It's probably my favorite Harley Quinn that's ever been done in comics, too. I don't think Null is going to be in Venom Island, maybe like in Eddie's Dreams, but I think it's going to be a bit until Null arrives. I think the island is going to be about killing Carnage's Hero Time. Yeah, absolutely. That's the gist. Null is on the way. And that was the bit that we got about Null in the incoming book, was that he's out there and he's making his way, right? It's not just Earth he's after a whole bunch of shit, right? So Null is on his way. He's coming. How long's Marvel going to let this play? It's summer, right, Dylan? I mean, Dylan right there. Yeah, it's summer. Marvel's biggest event is summer. They have already announced their Free Comic Book Day issue. It's usually the lead in to their big event of the year. And they've already announced it. Of course, they haven't actually announced it. They just announced that it's something. It's redacted. But it's got to be Null based. It's got to be Null based. Absolute Carnage is a stepping stone. And as is Venom Island, and you're right, Venom Island is about him dealing with his darkness inside. Cure did not like Joker in Suicide Squad. I know a lot of people feel like that. I feel like a lot of people do not like Leto's Joker, but I also heard that it kind of got stifled, held back a little bit. All right, let's start taking a look at this upcoming week's new comics. And I'll encourage everybody to hit that thumbs up button. There's super chats available and super stickers available if you're so inclined. You can also support us over at Patreon like David, Alex, Adem, Nelson, Brian, Dean, Jason, Brian, Reggie, Robert, Javi, Peter, Dunlaney, and TJ. We really appreciate it. You can follow me on Twitter at @TheRockinRobbie. You can join the official Pop Culture Philosophers Facebook group on Facebook. And it's called the PCP Army. Coming up this week in comics, starting with Dark Horse, we got Crone, number 3. We have Everything, number 5, which I believe is the final issue. I've been loving this book. It's been amazing. Ruby Falls, number 4, that's the final issue. And we have Sword Daughter, number 9. IDW's got a little bit of a big week. They've got DuckTales, woohoo, Fairies and Scares, number 1. G.I. Joe, number 4. I Can Sell You a Body, number 1. I've been hearing some things about this one. Lots of people in the community, in the creator community especially, saying really good things about this book. Pandemica number 3 is out this week. Sonic the Hedgehog 24, Starcadia Quest 3, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Urban Legends number 20, and Transformers number 15. From Scout Comics, we've got Stabbity Bunny, Emmett's Story number 1, and Star Bastard number 6. We've got a big week for Source Point Press here. Source Point Press pretty much... I feel bad for the indies, some of these really small press sometimes. This used to happen with Vault a lot. is that basically what happens is Diamond sets their release date and they just wind up releasing them all on the same day, which I think kind of hinders the ability that people might have to choose some different things week to week. Anyway, Source Point Press has Boston Metaphysical Society #6, classic pulp horror. It's a one-shot. Doll Island, which is kind of like a one-shot graphic novel type thing. Bueller did a review on his channel, and his review was really good and got me really stoked to check this one out, so I'm looking forward to that one. Gutter Magic #4 from Rich Duick, a great writer, super cool cat. Kringle is out this week. Misplaced #2, very excited for that one. Misplaced #1 has been my favorite Source Point Press book that I've read so far. Ogres #2, Seance Room #1, and Touching Evil has its second issue out this week. That's from some of the smaller press. We'll get to the big three here in just a second. I really enjoyed Silver Surfer Black, psychedelic artwork, and a great story in my opinion. Yeah, absolutely, I agree with you. I am a huge Tradd Moore fan, and I thought Silver Surfer Black was probably some of the best Marvel Donny Cates we've gotten so far. Bash says that the Treasury edition graphic novel is amazing. I've seen it. I've been able to flip through it, but I haven't read it yet or gotten it yet. I want it, though. Just a quick technical question. What are you using to broadcast and video edits? Currently trying to use OBS. That's what I use, OBS. All right. But it seems like Streamlabs is the way to go for a less complicated way if you want to have guests on the show. But I really do like the OBS stuff. I really like it for these live streams. I think they've made them look a little bit cleaner, being able to go from image to image, throw in graphics, really cool stuff. I really like it. So I think if you're into streaming, definitely check out some OBS stuff like that. And don't forget, Comics Revisited returns January 16th. From Image Comics, we have Copra #4, Death or Glory #8, Philadelphia #2, Manifest Destiny #4, Nomen Omen #4, and Olympia #2. A light week from Image, but a very solid week, it seems. We'll jump to DC next. I think most people that like Donny Cates will really like this Thor #1. I think it's really solid stuff. What I use is OBS Studio. That's what I got. The one thing I don't like about something like Streamlabs is everybody has to have that watermark right up here, you know? I guess if you pay for the service, you don't have to have that, but we're not all big dogs. Tradd Moore and David Stewart, how can you go wrong? You can't, right? Dave Stewart's one of the best colorists the industry has ever seen, and Tradd Moore is a really cool, psychedelic, unique artist, and I love it. And something like Silver Surfer Black worked really well. All right, from DC Comics this week, we have Action Comics 1018, Batgirl #42, Batman Beyond #39, Books of Magic #15, Detective Comics 1018, which, yes, that means Detective Comics and Action Comics are on the same numbering now. Soon to be surpassed by Detective Comics. In 2 weeks. Dial H for Hero #10. The Dreaming #17, Flash 85, Harley Quinn 69. Joker Harley Criminal Sanity #2. That's a DC Black Label book I forgot about. I really liked the first issue of that. Justice League Dark #18, Lois Lane #7, Martian Manhunter #11, the penultimate issue. Red Hood Outlaw #41, The Superman Giant #1, Terrifics #23. That's DC this week. We'll take a look at Marvel here in just a second. Brian says, I really liked Philadelphia, but I didn't expect it to end like that, almost comically. A lot of people shouting out how good the Treasury edition of Silver Surfer Black is. We got two big number ones this week from Marvel, Rosenberg and Donny Cates, two great writers. Yes, Rosenberg's Hawkeye comes out this week, right? Now, OBS Studio, as far as I'm aware, is open source. I didn't pay for it. I've got it right here. That's what I'm using. Now, there's a bunch of things, though, because OBS just means online broadcast studio, right? But what I have is just called OBS Studio. I don't know. I watched a few YouTube videos one day, and I was like, I really want to make the live streams pop a little bit better and look better and things like that. So there's even more I could do. What's up, Bruce? So what's up with our Cowboys? Score 44 against the Rams, 47 today, but only 9 against a crappy Philly team? Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. But the thing is, it's over now, right? What a crazy year. Oh, I'm so freaking bothered. All right, from Marvel Comics this week. Black Panther and the Agents of Wakanda, number 5. Daredevil, number 16. Doctor Doom, number 4. Hawkeye, Free Fall by Matthew Rosenberg, number 1, out this week. A New Ronin appears. Marauders, number 5. Miles Morales, Spider-Man, number 14. Punisher Soviet, number 3. Star Wars, number 1. That's right, a new Star Wars ongoing. Takes place after Empire now. Swordmaster, number 7. Tarot, number 1. It's an Avengers Defenders Alan Davis thing. Thor, number 1. With a bunch of damn covers. Bunches. Some True Believer stuff about villains. First appearance of Bullseye, Green Goblin. That's cool. Web of Black Widow ends with issue number 5. And X-Men number 4 is out this week. So that's what's coming up comic book-wise. Some exciting things. Never have read any of Hawkeye's books. Want to read Matt Fraction's run, but I'm excited to check out Rosenberg's run. Yeah, the Fraction run of Hawkeye is amazing. And then the Kelly Thompson follow-up that focuses mostly on Kate Bishop is amazing as well. Really good stuff. Heck yeah. So go ahead and get those questions in to fire off the second half of this show. This is Rockin Robbie Live. We're about to take a very short break here. Then we're going to come in on the second half of the show. We'll be talking about what we're looking forward to in 2020. So get your questions in. Let's fuel the show a little bit further. Have a fun time on the last Rockin Robbie Live of the year. We'll be right back here. Thank you guys so much. Hey everybody, welcome back here to Pop Culture Philosophers and Rockin Robbie Live, Part 2 for December 29th, which by the way is one of my sister's birthdays, so Cindy, happy birthday. Let's look at the chat. For the second half of the show, we're going to be talking about what we're looking forward to in 2020. We're going to continue to drive the conversation with your questions and comments and concerns. It's always fun. We got lots of great, fun people in here. Be sure to hit the thumbs up button. It really helps us out. If we can get 8 more thumbs ups, we will have just as many people in the stream as thumbs up, which would be really cool, I think. All right. Mike says West Coast Avengers is a fun Hawkeye action. Yeah, the West Coast Avengers run, which is done by Kelly Thompson's kind of a follow-up to her Kate Bishop Hawkeye series. Really good, fun stuff. Is the second series for Kanto supposed to drop anytime soon? Got it for Christmas. Really enjoyed it. Yeah, it's one of my favorite books of the year. I really do like that book. Not an official date for the sequel, but I would expect it second to third quarter is what I would think. Jay says, can Three Jokers live up to the hype, or is it doomed? Well, I definitely hope it lives up to the hype. I hope so. I think Jason Fabok, Jeff Johns, they've taken their time. I think it's going to be meticulous. I think it's going to be solid. I'm excited. I think it will live up to the hype. I think this is an idea that not only did Jeff Johns have this idea a while ago, he's had a lot of time to really think about it. Now that Doomsday Clock's over, I think his focus is on this, and I mean, apparently it's already been written. So, I mean, we'll see. I hope it lives up to the hype. I'm really excited for it. And I'm very excited for it to pop back in because one of my most popular videos I ever did was a theory I had on the Three Jokers. So I want to know if my theory is true. Damn it. Daniel's looking forward to Batman Catwoman. I'll just keep saying it. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it too. They're bringing in Phantasm. That's going to be really neat, really cool. So yeah, that's the question of the day, the question of the week. What are you looking forward to in 2020? It can be about comic books, it can be about television, it can be about movies and all that kind of stuff. Comic book wise, Three Jokers, we were just talking about it. I'm really looking forward to seeing that. Really looking forward to the Knoll event. I really do strongly think the Knoll event is going to start at Free Comic Book Day. I think that's what it's going to be. I'm very excited. Of course, Donny Cates may want to spread that out a little bit further, but I don't know. I just feel like this is what it's going to be. Empire's going to be I don't know. If Empire's not strong enough, it's got to be Knoll. Knoll's the only thing I think that would get people really excited. I think most people were disappointed ultimately on Marvel's events this year. I'm looking forward to television-wise, Umbrella Academy Season 2. I love the hell out of Umbrella Academy. There's my Vanya pop right there. Right there. Opened it up last week. Tonight we're opening up another Umbrella Academy pop. So I'm really looking forward to that. I'm also looking forward to the new Hill House season. I think that's supposed to be out this year. So that's super cool. And movie-wise, I'm looking forward to Eternals, because I really want to see a full-fledged Jack Kirby vision on the big screen, which I think would be super, super neat. And I'm very much, my most anticipated film of 2020 is Tenet, the new Christopher Nolan film. It just looks amazing, and I'm a huge Nolan fan. I Collect a Lot is looking forward to Boys Season 2. What else are y'all looking forward to? Toby Bopper says, a year to go for the Dune movie, but still looking forward to it. There you go. Is it a complete reboot? Well, I guess when something's based on a book, it's weird to call it a reboot, right? Because it's just a new movie that's based on the same property, right? So what are y'all excited for in 2020? Let me know. Let's sound off. Let's get the conversation going. Another thing I'm looking forward to is, of course, the Huntsville Comic and Pop Culture Expo. We always have a great time. There's me and Justin and Brooks and Jeremy and Drew. You meet me and the rest of the excitable PCP crew at the Huntsville Comic and Pop Culture Expo. Come see us. Join our panel. It's always a grand, fun time there. And don't forget, Comics Revisited returns January 16th with our Friendo episode. Eddie says he's looking forward to The Mandalorian Season 2. Absolutely, buddy. Me too. Spoiler free, but man, I love The Mandalorian. It's a great show. It's fun. Baby Yoda is life. Has anyone seen Letterkenny? Pretty damn funny. I've seen bits of it. I've never actually invested time to go into it, but it seems pretty damn funny. Sam Fett says, I'm looking forward to The Flash as always. Best superhero and comic ever. Looking forward to Thor and watching the PCP army growing. Thank you very, very much. Mike is looking forward to Phone by Mike06. Is that a new photography series, Mike? Mike is a fantastic photographer. In fact, you'll see took that photo, and I don't know if Mike took that photo. That doesn't look like a Mike photo. That's a Mike photo. Mike really is a fantastic photographer. Definitely check him out on Instagram. And Mike06, look him up. Mike is a fantastic photographer, and we got to get a new we got to get a new session going in before you go on tour. He does great band photography too. He's really coming up, and I really, really just love seeing it. Mike's a hell of a talent and a big supporter, and he's been a supporter of my work for a long time, and I do appreciate it. So what are y'all looking forward to in 2020, movie-wise, comic book-wise, hell, music-wise, sports-wise? I'm looking forward to the Yankees winning the World Series. How about that one? I think we're the best team in baseball. I mean, I always think that, but I really think that legitimately now. When I go to the comic shop this week, which comic should I get? Well, it depends, Bradley. What are you into? Lights just came in today. Oh, heck yeah, Mike. That sounds super cool. Bradley, what do you think? I think the most hype book, the biggest book, the one that everybody's going to be talking about is going to be Thor. Thor number 1 is going to be the shit. That's going to be the book that everybody's going to be talking about, whether they liked it or not. That's going to be the big one. I've been hearing lots of really good stuff about I Can Sell You a Body. That comes out new from IDW this week. Those are probably the two that I have to say straight off the dome. Taking my boys to Fenway this summer for Green Day. Can't wait. Heck yeah, Hero Time. I despise the Red Sox, but I still think that's cool. I still want to see Fenway Park. Fenway and Wrigley are like the only surviving ones from back in the day, right? I've been reading a lot of Star Wars, but that sounds really interesting, the Thor one that does come out. And if you like Star Wars, there's a new Star Wars book debuting this week too, so definitely check that out. It's written by Charles Soule, and the last Star Wars book took place between New Hope and Empire, and this one's going to take place between Empire and Jedi. Charles Soule's a pretty good writer when it comes to Star Wars. He did a really good Vader series. So that's super cool. But I would definitely encourage, I think if you're into, there's been a lot of stuff that's gone on with Thor lately, and this is going to, this is kind of like spinning out of that just a little bit, but it is a fresh start. And I think if you have a passing familiarity with the Marvel Universe, I think this is a very exciting title. Looking forward to getting my copy of In Search of Darkness horror documentary. That sounds interesting. What it's about. Looking forward to a new Florida State football coach. I'm looking forward to a new coach for the Cowboys. I don't think we're going to get a new owner, so I'm looking forward to a new coach, but we'll see what happens. Bradley, the new Thor comes out in comic shops this Wednesday, January 1st, 2020. First day of the new year and first new comic book day of the year. I'm very excited to cover it for you guys. And you can see my weekly comic book review video Tuesday night here on this channel. Dr. Doom versus Blue Marvel is going to be epic. Don't sleep on Dr. Doom. Hell no, let's rebuild. Never sleep on Victor. Victor's the best. In part 1 of the live stream, I was showing off my newly gotten Daredevil number 38. Now I've got Fantastic Four 92. Just picked this one up last week, kind of a little Christmas present to myself. I'm trying to collect every single one, every single issue of the Fantastic Four one day. And 92 helped me get a little bit closer, right? But it's a cool cover. I do not remember what happens in the issue, but it's Kirby, so it's good. It's cold. Yeah, I don't remember. It's been a while since I read that one. I need to. On my Fantastic Four reread, and I always am rereading Fantastic Four in some form or another. I'm like in the 50s right now. All 80s horror films, 4-hour in depth. That's really cool. You know, I love 80s horror films. I love horror films. I really have a big affinity and affection for the 80s horror boom. Really like that stuff. I grew up with it, of course. Freddy, Jason, Michael, all that stuff. Really other great stuff, too, like The Shining, Hellraiser. Good stuff. Our second most popular video here on this channel is our 80s horror movie podcast, because I don't know if a lot of people check it out, but the podcast is on a little bit of a hiatus. We were going to do a Star Wars episode, and the holidays got super, super busy. So I don't know if we're doing that second Star Wars cast because, you know, I want to move on to something else. But peace out, Sam Fett. We really do appreciate you being here and your support. Thank you. But what was I saying? Oh, yeah, the PCP podcast. It's one of my favorite things to do. I absolutely love it. Me, Hammer Time Holeshoe, Justin, Drew, Jeremy, a bunch of people from the Excitable PCP crew. Mike, the Voice Matthews, who we were just talking about. Brooks is on there sometimes. Jelani, not so much. But he has a problem with the table, which is funny to me because on the Festivus live stream that we did last Monday night for Festivus was fantastic. And everybody that was there, thank you so much. That was such a fun live stream. And they had fun doing it. So we plan on doing more of the 3-piece live stream in the future. So that's cool. But Jelani, when he's on video, he's the best. But when the video gets taken away, he has no concept of where his head is as far as the microphone goes. You saw a little bit of that in that live stream, I would say. But also just he's always hitting the table and making commotion, and it's just talking over people and interrupting people, and you know, there's some of that in podcasts, right? But anyway, the point being, if you've never checked out the PCP podcast, I highly encourage you to do so. Maybe Marvel will quote that one. But the 80s horror podcast is our second most popular video here, and definitely our most popular podcast. And I think it's a good one. And we did a 70s horror, and we did a 90s horror. The 90s horror is not on YouTube. So YouTube has the majority of our podcast, but it doesn't have like the last 6 or something. And I bring them onto YouTube a little bit later on so that it drives people to go check out, you know, the podcast on the website and on iTunes and all that stuff. I guess we need to get on Spotify. That seems weird. A lot of people are checking out their podcasts on Spotify. I got to see what we can do to get on there. I Collect a Lot says in 2020 he's looking forward to hunting down a lot of early 100s Uncanny X-Men issues. Heck yeah. My son and I watched Texas Chainsaw 2 and laughed through the whole thing. I think you're supposed to. I think one's the only legitimately good one. Not the remake, like the first one, the Tobe Hooper one. He did 2 as well, right? And the third one's the one with Renee Zellweger and Matthew McConaughey. That one's terrible, but I used to enjoy that one in a goofy way. Oh, damn, I Collect. How could I forget that? Of course, I'm looking forward to Picard. Hell yeah. I'll definitely check out the trailer for that, Jay. Roger wants to know when we're going to go see Cats. Well, in the PCP Army, I mentioned to Jelani, I was like, because we all decided we'd go Thursday. Long story short, on the Festivus live stream, I said that if we hit a certain amount of super chats, we would all 3 watch Cats and review it. And y'all came through. Y'all did it, damn it. So thank you. But we were going to go Thursday. Jelani's claiming he's got to work randomly on Thursday. So I told him, well, Wednesday. He suggested the Tuesday, and I was like, I can't do it Tuesday. That's weekly comic book review day. So the plan right now is Wednesday night. So we watch it Wednesday night. We film the video Wednesday night. I'll probably get the edit started Wednesday night. I'll work Thursday. I'll probably finish the edit Thursday. I'll probably have it ready Friday, 9 a.m. Central Time. But yeah, we're doing it. We're watching Cats because we're men of our word. I just didn't think it was going to happen. Sometimes we have live stream and we get we appreciate every super chat, but not every super chat. And we'd had a really good day. Like last week was the best day we had ever done super chat wise here on the live stream. And so I was like, well, there's no way we're going to outdo that. So I me and my big mouth, I was like, if we hit $15, we're going to watch it. And we got like 27 or something like that. So hell yeah. But yeah, I'm actually kind of excited. I think it's going to be a fun experience. Some nice bonding for me, Jelani, and Brooks. So we've had plenty of bonding, but yeah, we'll just get super stoned and go watch Cats, and then let you guys know what we thought about it. And what's crazy is that knowing how we are, Jelani's probably going to hate it. I would like it if it's good, but I hear it's not good, and I'm not really typically the biggest fan of Cats. So. I don't know. I have no expectation, I guess. So we'll see. Brooks, though, very lenient on movies. So I wouldn't be surprised if Brooks is like, it's decent. It did what I wanted it to. It was Cats. They danced. They sang. But yeah, we will enjoy it. It'll be a fun time. Regardless, right? Anybody here see Cats yet? Ain't good. I told Jelani, I was like, we can't push it off too much. We can't push it off at all because it may be out of theaters next week. Is anybody familiar with the work of Graham Hancock, Randall Carlson, and John Anthony West? I wish Chris was here. I bet he is. If anybody's familiar with their work, just chime in. Otherwise, just whatever you guys want to talk about. Russell can't wait for the Cats video. Yeah, me neither. Well, there we go. It happens. But we really do appreciate it. All the support. Even if we promise to watch Cats. We appreciate everything. Speaking of support, you can support us over at Patreon, patreon.com/PCP. For the people that do support us right now, I want to thank them. David, Alex, Adem, Nelson, Brian, Dean, Jason, Brian, Reggie, Robert, Javi, Peter, Dunlaney, and TJ. Y'all are the best. And don't forget, you can join the official Pop Culture Philosophers Facebook group on Facebook, the PCP Army. We have lots of fun over there. We're just recently joined by old Comics with Bueller. Saw Cats on a cruise ship. Had to leave after the first act because it freaked out the kids. That's funny. My wife saw it with friends and said it was the worst but funniest movie she's ever seen. Y'all have a good old time. I'm sure we will. Me, Jelani, and Brooks have a way to make a movie enjoyable. And I'm sure we'll make the review enjoyable, right? Who directed it? Do we know? Of course we know. I'm like, do we know? Is it a mystery? It's like a fake name. Something like that. Anybody else have anything they're looking forward to in 2020? Roger just started watching The Mandalorian. That's why I was late. It's definitely well worth it. It's a great show. And it's a good show to have waited to binge. Speaking of waiting on things to binge, I waited until the Watchmen HBO show was done. And then I'm like, we're going to watch it. I have now watched every episode except for the final episode. So I just watched the big explainy episode. And no spoilers, but I'll say this. The Watchmen TV series from HBO is pretty damn good. Pretty damn good. Oh, Daniel, we got the same idea. I suggested shrooms, but I can't do that and be in public. I can't. I'll be trying to explain to the damn popcorn maker how the universe and time works. Not that we do that stuff. Curious, what are some of your favorite channels on YouTube? Okay. Comic book community-wise. You can find these channels listed on our homepage here on YouTube. We call them Friends of PCP. Jim Mint Collectibles, fantastic dude, really great content, very, very honest, down-to-earth, relatable, really cool stuff. Will make you want to buy a lot of cool stuff, though. Trust me, he's a master influencer. He's awesome. Jim Mint's great. There's Comics with Bueller. Comics with Bueller, fantastic. Does a what's coming out next week video every Wednesday. Does a coffee and comic show on Monday mornings with Bob from Everything Comics. Another great YouTube channel. It's just recently started out. Dylan's Comic Book Rants. Probably Rookie of the Year. Fantastic work right there. Comic Tom's got a great channel. They do a top 10 hottest books of the week. Really cool stuff. The Boy Who Had 7 talks comics. Fantastic guy. Does lots of cool live streams. 90MF Comics. Really cool stuff. I hear lots of good stuff, Daniel, about near mint condition. Haven't checked out the channel myself. I do respect what Sal and the company does over at Comic Pop. I think that's some real fun, cool stuff. I also really, really, really like Matt Draper's channel. He has a way of explaining comic books that I really, really like. And I would say that the best comic book YouTube channel is Hassan Othman El Hal's channel. He's a comic book letterer, but he's got a channel called Strip Panel Naked, and it is fantastic. If you want to know about the craft of comic books, check out Strip Panel Naked. Absolutely fantastic. Outside of comic books, I'm a big fan of After School. After School, spelled with a K, school, SKOOL. Got some really cool videos in there, like motivational videos, I guess you could call them that, educational videos, things like that, whatever. But it's kind of like a little, they basically take things that people say, and they do animated videos over them. So you'll find a lot of work on there, for instance, from Graham Hancock and Randall Carlson. You'll also see some stuff on there from other thinkers. So I really like, when I'm not watching a comic book YouTube channel, most YouTube channels I watch are about that kind of stuff. There's oh my God, what's the one called? It's about stoicism. I can't even remember what it's called right now, but I'll just pull up my YouTube and it'll be on there. But After School is a really cool channel. I really like it. I also like Fight Mediocrity. That's a good one. Hey, look, Bueller just dropped his Kill Log review. I'm excited for that because I know that Bob really liked it. Let's see. Oh, here it is. Oh, Daily Stoic. Daily Stoic's another one of my favorites. I really like that one. Let me just look at my YouTube feed then. Daily Stoic. I got Comic Pop here. There's your boy Matt. Oh, L.A. Beast. L.A. Beast is one of my favorites. I love me some L.A. Beast. I really like Good Mythical Morning too, but mostly the only Good Mythical Morning ones I watch are their Willets for the most part. Really love Willets. Oh, and I love hot ones. Me being a big spice lord, I love hot, spicy food and eating peppers. We got a video on this this very channel where I ate a Carolina Reaper this year. So real fun stuff there. SciShow is one of my favorites. Crash Course. Crash Course is good stuff. I really like everything that Tom. Is it Tom? No, it's not Tom. Hank and somebody Green. Oh man, what's the other? The John Green? The Vlog Brothers. I like them. Yeah, I like them a lot. Let's see, MLB is one of my channels I follow. Just looking through right now. Oh, Serial Time. Serial Time TV is one of my absolute favorite YouTube channels. It's all about cereal. I'm a big cereal guy, which I'm about to do with this lower carb thing for a while, which means cereal's going to have to become a once-a-week treat. Way too much cereal in my cupboard for that. All right, let's check out some of these. I'm sure some people threw in some of their ideas. Yeah, comic tropes. I hear great stuff about that. The dude who reviews good and bad comic art. Some more news by Cody. Fitter Philosophy, Raffi.com. Alien Theory is a cool channel that talks about all different parts of the alien movie world. That's really cool, Brian. I'll have to check that out. Reggie said Ed Pisker's Cartoonist Kayfabe YouTube channel is pretty dope. I'll definitely check that out. I really like his work. Outside of all this, I listen to Joe Rogan, Sam Harris, Fighter, and the Kid. I'm a huge Joe Rogan fan. Joe Rogan has so many different types of people on his channel. He's got some. I've been opened up to lots of different ideas from Joe Rogan. I don't have my pen. New Year's resolutions. This is the Teen Dog Shades night. What that usually means is that I'm open to questions about my ideas about anything metaphysical or stuff like that, right? I got some crazy wonky ideas, and they're always changing and evolving, right? This is what made me think of this. Someone mentioned Joe Rogan, right? Okay. Because this is a very famous. I'm checking out today. I was watching Joe Rogan's podcast, his in studio podcast with John Anthony West. This is the guy that did a DVD series called Magical Egypt, and it's kind of along the ideas of Graham Hancock and Randall Carlson. This is the idea that there was advanced civilization in what we would call prehistory. Like that, we kind of have this idea that civilization kind of started like 10,000 years ago, right? And apparently there's a lot of evidence out there that doesn't necessarily prove that that's wrong, but questions that. And it seems like most of the people that are really like archaeologists and stuff like this, they kind of attack it. There's this whole thing, we're people, right? And as people, if we have an idea about something, we can sometimes kind of like take our ego and our identity and kind of merge it in with that idea. And we will never, ever shake those ideas off or be open to new ideas. And it seems like this is something that happens in the archaeology world involving these type things. Atlantis. Where does this myth come from? I am someone who believes that myth all has something. Do you know what I'm saying? Daniel, thank you so much for that. Giving us a super chat because the shades are on. I think there's a smoke alarm going off in my house. I'll be right back. All right, everything's fine. It was a smoke alarm, but everything's fine. So, yeah. Just some stuff burning on the stove. All right, let's see here. What was I talking about? Oh, I was going on when I... Yes, so I was watching Joe Rogan's podcast with John Anthony West. I had to write his name down because I won't remember it while I'm wearing the Teen Dog shades. But, so, he did this documentary about magical Egypt, and it's really cool, and maybe there's an alternate history. Maybe there's a different thing. I would only encourage you guys to check out some of the stuff. Graham Hancock, Randall Carlson, if you just type their names into YouTube, you'd see tons of stuff pop up. You may see some Joe Rogan podcasts. And regardless of whatever you would think about Joe Rogan or his show or his views or anything like this, I would encourage you to check those episodes out because they're really, really cool. Really, really cool. But in that episode, he was talking to him, and he, there's that joke, that meme almost. It was like Joe Rogan in any conversation will find a reason to bring up DMT, right? It'll just be like, "Have you ever tried DMT?" He literally does it. It's really funny. He's like, "Well, how much did you do?" "Oh, you didn't do enough, man. We got to do something about that." Anyway. Hot Ones is fire. Hell yeah, it is. Have you tried the Hot Ones sauce? Oh, yeah. My daily hot sauce is the Last Dab. This today I had eggs in a basket, where you cut a hole in the bread and you make eggs in it, right? Over easy eggs. And I just had Last Dab XXX all up in it. I love that shit. That stuff's great. In January, I'm looking forward to Batman 86. Curious to see how Tynion handles the main Batman book. I've read the first 2 issues of this run so far, and they're pretty decent, pretty solid. Doesn't hit you like this at first, but it's pretty decent. Oh, thank you, Comics with Bueller. You're way too far kind. Pop Culture Philosophers is an okay channel. It's the community around it that makes it fun and great. Yep. YouTube Celebrity Bueller shows up. Everybody's like, "What's up?" Yeah. Thank you guys for your concern. Smoke alarm was fine. It's probably Sam setting it off after watching Loves Come Softly. LOL. I have no idea what that means. Share Love T jumps in and says, "I agree on those Joe Rogan episodes. Really good. I think it's really interesting stuff." And so I just started watching last night. Oh, man, I was falling asleep because it was so long. But God, John Anthony West. This is the guy that did this. So Magical Egypt. It's on YouTube, by the way, so you can watch it. His stuff is mostly about how the Sphinx is allegedly much older than what most modern day Egyptologists. And there's that one dude who's in and I love that dude. I cannot remember his name right now, but he's in every Egypt documentary that you've ever seen. He's a really cool, flamboyant guy, but he refuses to even entertain the notion of these ideas. I saw a video on YouTube where he was going to do a debate with Graham Hancock, and then he knew that this dude was going to be brought up, the guy that brought up the idea that maybe the Sphinx is older than they think, and he immediately walked out. Just was like, "I'm not even a part of this," right? But, yeah. Really fun stuff. Those episodes, though, Graham Hancock, Randall Carlson. It is Carlson. Yeah. He's from Atlanta. I would love to meet those guys. I think they're super, super cool. What does Joe Rogan say about ghosts? I don't know, Mike. I don't know what he says. I don't believe in ghosts personally. Joe Rogan, though, agrees with me and thinks that a lot of these alien UFO encounters, maybe not UFO encounters, but alien abduction experiences and things like that, they are related to an NDE experience, and that's something he was talking about with West in the podcast I was watching last night. It's interesting to me because I do see that I hear a lot of people talk about DMT experience. Now, I've never done this, right? So I know that people describe it in a similar way that people describe visions of, the BVI or the BVM, the Blessed Virgin Mary, and the way that they would describe angelic or demonic visions or even alien abductions, So a lot of that kind of stuff. Sawi Hawass, you're right. Yeah, absolutely. And I love him, and I think he's great. He's a really fun personality, but he is so stone cold against these ideas, and it really does portray this idea that Hancock and Carlson are right when they're talking about how mainstream archaeologists don't even entertain the notion. And there's that whole site that just recently got discovered not too long ago, Quebecly Tempe, something like that. Man, I'm butchering all this. Anyway, but it's a Teen Dog Shades night. It's y'all PCP Navy now. Alfred is still currently dead, yeah, but I don't know for how. I mean, he'll be dead for the long term. I mean, no, he'll be definitely dead for the short term. They'll bring him back though. But knowing, Mike, back to your thing, knowing what Joe Rogan thinks about those kind of experiences, and they kind of align with my idea and interpretation of these experiences, I don't think Joe Rogan might believe it. But then again, maybe you can find something where it proves me wrong. the thing that I love about Joe Rogan is he's open to new ideas, and that's something I think we all should be. Are you a fan of the Max or Sam Keith? I'm a big fan of Sam Keith. I do like the Max. I've never completed the run. I don't know if it really goes anywhere. But I remember loving the animated series. I'd love to revisit someday, but I'm a huge fan of Sam Keith's artwork. I love it. Check out the Comics Revisited episode that me and Brooks did on Sandman Preludes and Nocturnes. We go on for a little bit about our love of Sam Keith. Superman Red Son, is the comic worth the buy with the movie coming out hardcover? Even without the movie, Conrad, Superman Red Son is totally worth the buy. It's a great book. Dave Johnson, Mark Miller, fantastic alternate Elseworlds type story. What if Superman landed in communist Russia? Great stuff. I love alternate history. I'm a big Philip K. Dick fan, obviously. That kind of led me into this idea of loving alternate history. And there you go. Speaking of alternative history, so about on this Graham Hancock stuff. Anyway. So, yeah, Magical Egypt is something I started watching. It's really, really cool. I like it a lot. Talking about the, there may be lost sciences. There may be lost civilizations that we never knew about. You know what I'm saying? Göbekli Tepe. You're right. There you go. CMA Thunder says, "Hey, Robbie, just tuned in from Costa Rica on vacation." Hell yeah. Enjoy that. Enjoy it. Share Love says, Brian Forrester is really good too. If you want to check out a cool channel that follows Peru and Egypt, he runs Hidden Inca Tour. Super cool. Yeah, I remember the Joe Rogan Questions Everything show. Was it on Sci-Fi, right? Yeah, I remember that. But I'm really big on this stuff right now. The older I have gotten, the more skeptical I have become of the average narrative that we're giving about our history, our present, and our future. I think questioning everything around you, including reality, can be a very, very positive and enlightening thing to do. And even if at the end of all of it, your conclusion is that it's all the same, at least you did the exploration. At least you did the questioning. You know what I'm saying? Share Love T says, been on the fence about your channel. Recently found your weekly comic reviews, but you're cool, man. Subscribe, sir. Well, thank you very much. I do appreciate that. All it took was a Teen Dog Shades night. We do these every so often. If you ever see a live stream with the thumbnail of a Teen Dog is a comic book that's awesome. But the super cool, teenage dog that just wants to eat pizza, have a good time, and have psychedelic visions, right? In a way. Anyway, but thank you so much, Share Love. We really do appreciate that. I do focus a lot in on comic book content. It seems like what people really like. I work at a comic book shop. I've been into comic books since I was 5 years old. That's 1986, and I've been pretty much reading them since then. So I just have a passion for this stuff, and I love sharing. So thank you for joining our community and being part of the PCP Army. Don't forget, y'all can do so officially at Facebook at the PCP Army, the official Pop Culture Philosophers Facebook group. And if you're on Twitter, you can follow me at the Rockin Robbie. There is a PCP page at the PCP Show, but we don't really post there. Conrad says, Joe Rogan is my guy. Seems like a guy that would love Strange Skies over East Berlin. Seems like a guy that would love Midnight Vista as well. I'd love to do a Joe Rogan type podcast with Elliot Rahal, for instance. I've never interviewed a comic book creator here on the channel, aside from local creators that I know, like Jay Sandlin, who just released Over the Ropes from Mad Cave Studios. Fantastic book. And, of course, Lance Allen at Dance Panda Comics. Speaking of Lance, by the way, me and Lance worked together on Black Spec, which is a 3-issue, all-ages sci-fi tale. And Dance Panda Comics is amazing. Lots of good stuff going to be coming out from there. Perch #1 is out right now. You can get on Comixology. I'm a huge supporter and fan of Dance Panda Comics. Of course, I've worked with them before. And Lance is one of my homies. And for Christmas, he got me a Dance Panda shirt. And y'all notice what that is? that's a goddamn Yankees Dance Panda shirt. He got a Dance Panda shirt made up for all of his different people, all of his homies, and he had it all done in ways that we would all really, really like. Do you know what I'm saying? And so he got me, like, one of his buddies got a Tennessee Volunteers, that Tennessee orange. But he got me a Yankees one. Got the pinstripes, got the Yankee blue on there. Oh. Lance is my buddy. I love Lance. And if you've never checked out Lance's work, definitely check it out. There's a book called A Madre by him and Claudio Munoz. Claudio's a great artist. He's from Chile. Fantastic dude. Great artist. He was the artist on Black Speck, which was the all ages sci-fi book that me and Lance worked with on with him and with Amanda doing the. And Lance is also not just a writer and publisher; he's a colorist and a letterer, and his stuff is just getting better and better. Check out dancepandacomic.com. Really good stuff. And if you like this channel, if you like my works, buy Black Speck. It's available in Comixology. You can get. There's a trade paperback coming out soon. I think we're planning on a Kickstarter for that. So definitely, I will definitely be talking about that. However, this all came about me saying, I've never really interviewed too many creators on the show. I would like to do more of that. I think that could be cool. And I would really like to have a nice Joe Rogan type conversation with Elliot Ray Hall, who has had some interesting experiences that he's been talking about in books like Midnight Vista, which is a fantastic book. And I know that Bueller has had conversations with him, and I've had interactions with him many times on Twitter. He's a super cool dude. So yeah. Here comes the rain. What are my thoughts on Kim Jong-gi? Who are we talking about? I don't even know. Oh yeah, Brian, that's right. I gave you copies of Black Speck. Well, I hope you like it. We tried to do what we could in 3 issues. We tried to make it a very philosophically and mythologically sound comic book. It pulls a lot from Egyptian ideas, which is something that I have a big passion about. I don't know if you can tell. So, really like that stuff. Oh, CMA Thunder, I'm a huge Brian Greene fan. I have read Elegant Universe, and I have read Fabric of the Cosmos. I have Hidden Reality, but I haven't read it yet. And I bought it like when it first came out. That was years ago, but I haven't read it yet. But I have read Elegant Universe. I have read Fabric of the Cosmos. So I'm not just some kind of big, like, crazy, quacky, like, occult, esoteric, alternative history type guy. I also am really into, like, quantum physics and stuff like that. So, yeah, that stuff is fantastic. Oh, Mochi Park, thank you so much. A $4.99 donation saying, looking forward to you rocking in 2020. Me too. Thank you so much. We really do appreciate that. Heck yeah. But yeah, I have some Kaku books. I have. Oh my goodness, I have a couple. There's a hyperspace something hyperspace, and then there's oh my goodness, there's one about the Einstein. Anyway, but yes, yeah, absolutely. That's kind of where this all started. I wasn't into all this metaphysical stuff before I got into quantum mechanics, quantum physics, those ideas. When I was growing up, I was actually really big into Christianity. I was super big into it. And I still highly respect Christianity. I think there's a lot of powerful imagery and symbolism there that I still work with every day. So some really, really cool, powerful stuff. So I was into all that. I was always into Egypt and mythology growing up, and I was always into comic books. And it just all kind of one day in science, and it all just kind of one day did this. And I woke up one day and I was just dissatisfied with this paradigm that we're given, right? Whether it's about our history, whether it's about our present, or whether it's about our future. And I wanted to look at some other things. I wanted to see some other explanations. I wanted to forego, especially, I'm a big history buff too, right? And so when you learn about history and you learn that a lot of what you learned when you were a kid growing up in school is bullshit. I mean, what? Y'all are knowingly teaching us bullshit because it's easier to digest, And it's just, and it's all painted and just, goddamn y'all, if y'all learn anything from me, don't trust anything. Even when I tell you that a comic book is good, don't trust me. You may read that comic book and be like, that comic book sucked, Robbie. And you're right. Because only trust yourself, right? Well, you have to trust on other people anyway. Yeah, the holographic universe stuff is crazy. I love that. Susskind, was that his idea initially? Like, he was one of the first ones to come up with Lawrence Susskind, was that his name? I really like that dude. I can see him in my head. I think his name is something like that. Fantastic stuff. So I really like this hologram theory. I think it's spooky. I think it's crazy, but I like things that make me feel spooky and crazy, because I think in order to survive this world, you got to be a little spooky and crazy. And yeah, Bash, me and CMA Thunder are right there with you. Brian Greene is amazing. Brian Greene has this knack for being able to take complex ideas, especially in quantum physics, and make them really relatable to the layman, right? And I have his DVDs of Elegant Universe and Fabric of the Cosmos, 2 of his books. He did these PBS Nova series for, and they're amazing, and you definitely need to check them out. My life got changed when I saw his explanation of time and the bread loaf idea of time, and holy cow, blew my mind. He's a Korean artist, unbelievable talent. I'll definitely have to check him out. He's not the ruler of North Korea, right? Oh, interview Rogan. Oh my God. It's a dream. I would love to do that. That'd be crazy cool. I would love to be on the Joe Rogan show so much. We got to get to the point. We got to get to the point where I'm big enough that Joe Rogan wants to talk to me for 3 hours, because I'm there, and that's when I can do DMT, because I bet he could set that up. So Joe Rogan, if you're out there, if you want to talk to someone who really loves comic books and thinks that they tie in to like the mythological current of the collective unconscious of humanity, and it can tell us so much about ourselves, and if you want to hang out with someone who wants to do DMT for the first time, just holler. Just holler at us. You can get in touch with us at popculturephilosophers.com, or I'm on Twitter at the Rockin Robbie. So there you go. Anyway, speaking of Egypt, I love Conrad seems like to be like, let's just lean this back into comic books, please. Oh, goodness. Speaking of Egypt, Apocalypse is the best X-Men villain of all time, in my opinion. I think what you're talking about with the alternative civilization could play well in a story with him. Conrad, you're 100% right. Apocalypse is my favorite X-Men villain, too. And my love for this kind of stuff may have influenced that, but he was always my favorite. Like, when I was a kid, I remember Apocalypse showing up in X Factor. And I remember reading Mutant Massacre and having Angel's wings ripped off, and then he showed up in X Factor, and he was Archangel, and it blew my mind. Oh my God. Fantastic stuff. Leonard Susskind, thank you. Susskind, something like that. Fantastic dude. I love this dude. He's a thinker, great thinker. Oh, Justin, meeting Grant Morrison is the biggest dream. Apocalypse, I like that. We're nearing the end of the show. This has been really fun. It really got hyped up. You know, I was really nervous about going into Teen Dog Shades commentary. But no, we had a lot of fun with this again. This has been a great one. Oh, someone said something about Scientology. Let's see. Oh, you saw, what's his, Michio? Is it Mikage? What's his name? The Gaku? Yeah. I love that dude. What's bullshit, Brett? What's Brett's last comment? Crazy quacky. Yeah, thank you. Oh, I got great taste. Thank you, Bash. So do you. Here we go. Chaos in Comics, and I love that name for a reason. Is it just me, or is Robbie going to tell us he loves Scientology? Oh, my goodness. Please do not get me misrepresented there. I am not a fan of Scientology whatsoever. Scientology is a method of control. Starts off with some really decent self-help ideas that really kind of, it steals a lot from some legitimate things to start off with, and then apparently it gets really nefarious. That show on AMC, not AMC, A&E. What's her name? from Saved by the Bell, King of Queens. Leanna Remini, is that her name? Leah Remini, something like that. Her show, Scientology and Me, is a fantastic thing. I really dug that show, and I think Scientology is pretty bad. I think a lot of structured religion can have a negative effect on certain people, especially when it's used as a means of control, and religion's something that's easy to use as a means of control. But I think that nowadays more people are more controlled by things like media, and I know that's crazy coming from someone who I feel like I guess I'm a part of them at that media or whatever, but Scientology is like a completely toxic thing to me, man. I don't know. Yeah, Leah Remini, right? Yeah. My go-to cable TV show. Anything with Gordon Ramsay. like if I'm just like, I am very intentional about what I'm watching, right? Like right now I'm watching Watchmen, right? Before that I was rewatching Rick and Morty, right? So I'm very intentional about what I'm doing. I'm also revisiting Umbrella Academy right now because I listed it as one of my favorite shows of the year, and so I wanted to revisit it. But as far as just sitting there on the tube and just letting something play that I don't have to invest too much in but really enjoy it, it's anything Gordon Ramsay and Drag Race. Oh my God. If RuPaul Charles and Gordon Ramsay got together and did a show, my head would fucking explode. I swear. Brian says, my stepfather was a Scientologist and I live pretty close to Clearwater, Florida, which is like Scientology's Mecca. Yeah, it is. You said used to be, so he's no longer a Scientologist? Has he had to deal with anything negative from leaving the church? Gordon Ramsay in the MCU, who does he play? Galactus. That'd be funny. No, Gordon Ramsay would be Gordon Ramsay. There's only one Gordon Ramsay, and he exists in the MCU, I bet. Yo, Robbie, I just finished watching Mandalorian. I think I found my next binge. Yeah, that's good stuff. Good stuff. Hero Time is out. We're almost out here, too. DMT if you never want to sleep again. Oh, does it make you not want to sleep again? Show and tell. Let's get to show and tell real quick. Thank you all for such an awesome stream. Final questions? Get them in right now. Also, what are you looking forward to in 2020? So I'm a Power Rangers fan, Super Sentai fan. I've been opening up these Hasbro Lightning collections. Been pretty good for what they are. They're not near as good as figure arts, but they're pretty good for what they are. It's like Marvel Legends meets Power Rangers. It's exactly what it is. Got the Mighty Morphin Red Ranger right here. Let's open it up. After leaving it, I don't think they really messed with him. I know they do bug his wife, though. Yeah, I think it all depends on how you left and what you're willing to say after you left. I forgot that these things are taped down pretty good. I don't have anything to cut this tape right now. Who's going to be Captain Britain? In comics or in movies? Right now, in comic books, it's Betsy. In movies, who would be a good Captain Britain, y'all? Get it in right now. Screw it, I'm just going to rip it open. So these have been really cool. If you like the Hasbro Marvel Legends, no reason you won't like these. Unless you're not a Power Rangers fan, obviously. So for Mighty Morphin, they've done White Ranger, Pink Ranger, and Red Ranger now. And I've got a Black Ranger with the gold shield. We opened that up a few weeks ago. There it is right there. Looks pretty good. Got his power sword. Got Jason's face. Got some energy. Right there. So, yeah, there you go. If you're a Power Rangers fan and you like Hasbro, you like Marvel Legends, it's cool. I'm really excited because one day we're going to get Brooks and Jelani to come up here for a live stream, and we're going to get them to bring some of their Marvel Legends figures, and we're going to have some nice battle poses against the Power Rangers. What's really cool, too, is their weapons, highly detailed, and they all click together. Yeah, your body does naturally produce DMT. Some people think it has something to do with dreaming. But there are different kind of doses I think you can do. Peace out. Everybody's leaving now. We're doing the... All right. Get your final thoughts in right now, or maybe you guys are just saying goodbye. So, there you go. So the first Umbrella Academy pop I got was the Vanya Chase edition. And even though I have a Chase ready for me of number 5, I had to get Klaus. Klaus is probably my favorite character in the TV show. Not in the comic book. He's different in the comic book. But I really do. I wish I cannot remember the actor's name. But he is so good. Klaus in the Umbrella Academy TV show is amazing. So look at the detail on this. Fantastic. He's got his bottle of booze. He's got his necklace. He's got his marker written goodbye on his hand. He's got them pants with the holes in them. My mom had some blue jeans like that in the 90s she used to wear. He's wearing his little, what is that thing called? A luau? No, what's that thing? It's not a shawl. What the hell is it? Anyway. Yeah, there's my Klaus pop right there. That's a nice looking pop. I'm really big into Umbrella Academy, so that's really cool. I think this is one of the best ones they did. So there you go. And we're now at the end of the show. Favorite Star Trek TV series? DS9, and then TNG. Then I would go Discovery, TOS, though I need to watch season 2 of Discovery. I'm very excited to have Picard usurp something. To be honest with you, I love every single Star Trek series except for Enterprise. I am not an Enterprise fan. A bola, that's right. Or a boa. Boa? Like a snake. A boa constrictor? That makes sense, doesn't it? Mike, is this the first live stream you've ever been on here for the whole time? I've seen you a lot, man. That's interesting. Pointing out one final time behind me, that's Fantastic 492. Yeah, my General Grievous pop. I love it. One of my favorite Star Wars villains, excuse me. My Klaus pop, the Vanya pop. And Mike is a big deal as to why I get such cool stuff sometimes. There's my little centipede. You know, Funko does those mystery minis. They did classic video games ones. There's the centipede from the video game centipede. Hell yeah. And my Sentinel. I love that thing. Toy Biz Sentinel. Has anybody talked about cover of the year? Oh my goodness. I can't think of that off the top of my head at the end of the show. Oh man. We'll definitely have to talk about that next time then. Cover of the year. That's a good question. I haven't even thought about that. I don't know what pops up in my head. What's up, Fernando? How are you doing? Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Did I talk about Incoming? We talked about it a little bit. I thought it was okay. I thought it was decent. I got quoted by Marvel in their YouTube video about it, so that's super cool. That was always neat. You can know my full thoughts on the weekly comic book review, though. And, of course, the weekly comic book review will be out late Tuesday night, early Wednesday morning. And if you want to get a little bit of early access to it, Patreon supporters like David, Alex, Adem, Nelson, Brian, Dean, Jason, Brian, Reggie, Robert, Javi, Peter, Dunlaney, and TJ, they get access to a downloadable audio-only file of it hours before it hits on YouTube, because it takes a long time sometimes for the YouTube video to process for us. I don't have Google Fiber like I used to. But anyway, if you're a Patreon supporter, not only do you support the channel, but you get early access to the weekly comic book review in a downloadable audio-only file hours before it's available. You also get early access to other things like Comics Revisited, podcasts, and of course you have access exclusively to the PCP After Hours podcast, always super fun. You can support us there at patreon.com/PCP. You can follow me on Twitter at the Rockin Robbie, and you can join us on Facebook at the PCP Army, which is the official Pop Culture Philosophers Facebook group. Roger says Catwoman has some good covers. Mike says, cover of the year is a great question. It really is. We'll save that for next time. That'll be the question of the week. That's a good one. But I got to think about that. I bet I can come together with a top 5. What's up, Pope Cerebus the First? How you doing? People liking them Catwoman covers. You talking about the Art Germ stuff, I think. But anyway, we really do appreciate it. Once again, I'll invite you to the Huntsville Comic and Pop Culture Expo, April 18th and 19th at the Von Braun Civic Center, or it's just the Von Braun Center now. It's not the Civic Center. It hasn't been that for a long time, Robbie. Anyway, PCP will be there. We'll have a channel. We'll be joined by Liana Kangas, the artist of She Said Destroy from Vault Comics, Black AF, Devil's Die from Black Mass Comics, and a whole bunch of other projects. Fantastic stuff. We always have a good time. You'll meet Jelani. You'll meet Brooks. You'll meet me. You'll meet some of the other members of the Excitable PCP crew. It's always a grand old time. January 16th, Thursday, 9 a.m. Central Time, Comics Revisited returns, finishing out Season 2, starting with Friendo from Vault Comics. Always super, super fun time. So we really do appreciate everything. Comics with Bueller says, the blank 1 in 500 incentive green blank immortal 20... they spared no expense. Yeah, it was just a blank cover. You know, everybody's getting into those blank cover things, and it's cool to have a cover by the artist. That's really cool. Like Doomsday Clock number 12 did the yellow blank cover. That's neat to go, whatever. And if you got to meet someone, draw a Dr. Manhattan on it or something like that. So I guess it's really cool. But yeah, to do a blank cover for a 1 in 500, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Yeah, you won't be able to meet Mike at the expo this year. You could have for every other year before that, but Mike will be on tour. Anyway, we really do appreciate everything. Thank you guys for your support. We really do appreciate it. Like I said, weekly comic book review coming up this week. And we got some new shows debuting this week. And the Patreon supporters know what I'm talking about. The rest of y'all will just have to wait until Friday morning to find out. But anyway, we really do appreciate it. I'm Rockin Robbie Billups. On behalf of everybody here at Pop Culture Philosophers, we appreciate it. Y'all have a good one.